Hey guys, so this series of videos have been requested many times over, so I decided to do it, and that is hero combos, different combinations you can do with different types of heroes and things like that. However, remember that combos and hero combinations, that is something that there's so many heroes in this game. There's so many different combinations. Some work better in free-to-play, cheap-to-play, and others work better in high-level play, which is completely different. So it's absolutely impossible to say and demonstrate every single hero combination, every single combo in the game. However, I'll do my best to explain the one that I've tried, the one I think that work, and the ones that I think they'll be very good for you guys. So the very first hero I want to talk about, and that is one of the heroes that you have to get at +5 as soon as possible, and you're able to. If you're cheap to play, you're able to through events. And that is Chloe. Chloe at +5, with her ability to actually give a crit and damage dealt to heroes that are next to her, that ability alone will be able to give you so many awesome combinations in green. So for example, I can bring in Felia here. Felia with her weapon already gives a crit, but also, yeah, she on her own does a bunch of damage. And if you add crit and damage dealt to her, she does insane, disgusting amount of damage. So if you have Chloe at +5, you'll be able to combine with a bunch of heroes. However, if you do this, I do recommend you to put crit weapons on them, because 30% is not enough. You would need like 50% and higher for that damage dealt to actually be very effective in that situation. So any hero that actually does damage, you can actually add here. You can add this hero over here doesn't do a lot of damage, but putting it next to her, yeah, that does actually work. You can actually put this hero over here. Remember that she's not going to do damage directly led by skill damage, but her stones, all of her stones are going to do a bunch of damage, because it's going to crit, and it's going to be high because of the actual crit damage added by 60%. So Mallory with a crit weapon would be amazing with Chloe here for sure in that situation. And other heroes like Samuel is an excellent choice with a crit weapon, and even his own weapon. Still, if he crits just a little bit, yeah, that's gonna be pretty crazy. And of course, you can also add Fabula here with a crit weapon. She still is very relevant in the game. Don't sleep on her. And yeah, that's definitely gonna help a lot. So pretty much any hero that you think that's gonna do damage in that situation. If you slap a crit weapon, you're going to do a lot of damage with Chloe, and that's for sure. So yeah, highly recommend it. If you want Chloe to actually do extra damage, you can add in this guy, Robert here. I use Robert a lot when I'm in events and things like that. So he's going to add attack to Chloe and to the hero that it's next over here. So Chloe's going to do a bunch of damage with him next to him, so that's another option there in that situation. And pretty much every other hero that does damage in the game, you're able to add it here without any problems, even if you're free to play, cheaply playing. So you are able to actually do so much when you have her +5. You have no idea, guys. So that's the very first hero I wanted to talk about. The other heroes that you actually do combinations, the thing is that when you're playing green, you have to make sure that you have a cleanser. So that's definitely going to be Miranda or Fabula here. So you have to make sure you have your cleansers. That's the first thing when you actually build the green team. So without cleansing, Elmis is going to destroy you, and a bunch of other heroes are going to... Mildred is going to destroy you if you don't have a cleanser. So yeah, you definitely need a cleanser. And then right now, these are the two cleansers for green for sure. So, as I already said, Felia on her own, she is an amazing hero to do combinations and things like that. And with Chloe, as I already mentioned. However, you can do different combinations on defense. I like to do her faction specifically. Let's see. Where are you? No, that's not. Alright, yeah, with the Red Streak faction, here it is. Pretty much a combination on defense. I like to do this, and also like this, Putting Felia over here, putting this. And you can actually add in also Haroth, but I don't have Haroth, sadly, in that situation. So I'm going to just add him here. Whoop! There we go. Just like magic, guys. Yes, it's video magic. So adding Haroth there with her, it is a good combination, that situation. Because you're not going to get, yeah. And with her ability at +5, you're actually able to cleanse all of the overload for all these, but you can actually do a faction thing here, and you can actually also combine with Robert, of course, and things like that. So Felia in general is going to do so much damage, it's not even funny, for sure, guys. So yeah, Felia is one of those heroes that they buffed, and yeah, she does a bunch of damage. So you can actually add in with Robert and things like that, and other heroes you can actually use on that situation. So the more buffs you give her, the better. But she's pretty squishy, so do take that into account. Now Isadora is one of the premier heroes in the game. If you don't have Isadora, you have a big problem, because damage share and added 100% defense is so freaking relevant at this game. Even if she's +0, she has to be there in that situation. So usually when I'm fighting like a tough team, like if it has a lot of reds, like Haroth is crazy broken, guys. So you have to take into account Haroth for many things. And one way to counter Haroth is using Isadora with her extra 100% defense. That's going to help you survive. Thor is incredibly powerful. Idritha with she actually attacking. She can pin off any of your heroes if you don't have Isadora buff there. So yeah, it's super important to actually have Isadora on your team for sure. So usually a team that I use with Isadora would be like this. And right now I'm actually using the new hero Molly. She's amazing. I love this hero, and I did +5 her. Don't ask me how many summons I did. It was a nightmare, but I got her. Okay. Yeah. So this is usually the team that I use. But if it's something else, I'll probably just use a Sho Min here. But the main thing is that I bring in Isadora, and Isadora, I activate her first, and then I activate my heroes in this order like this. Because if I don't have Isadora on, and I'm fighting a team with Luna and things like that, your heroes are going to start dying. Yes, and if you're fighting against Artemis as well, your heroes are going to start dying because Chloe here does damage to everybody, so counters are gonna come from everywhere. So you need Isadora to actually make this happen. So she is a combo of her own, because you can put her on any team you have, and you have an incredible hero to actually be able to defend your team. And Isadora combinations on defense, usually any damage share hero is pretty good with counter heroes like Artemis here, like my sweet Colette. Luna loves damage share as well. That's pretty cool. And a bunch of heroes, yeah, for sure. So yeah, Isadora is one of those heroes that you can almost use in every single part of the game. Highly recommended to use her. If you have her +0 and you don't have her leveled, level her as soon as possible. She's one of the easiest heroes to actually add to your team and make it work in that situation, and do very good combinations. Now, I already spoke about Miranda. This guy over here, Cathbad, he is a combo on its own. He's a combo on its own, for sure. But usually you want to combine him with Isadora, because that buff, the faction buff that they have, that means that Isadora is going to actually have that damage share and buffs with him for 1 turn, additional turns, and so if you're playing like a pseudo like cheap to play team, you're able to do it like this, and these heroes over here are going to actually give extra turns with Isadora buff and things like that, and for the healing as well. Remember that he creates stones with healing, so that's gonna get that extra turns actually doing this. Let me show you the faction buff here. Here we go. So if you have 3 heroes, you're gonna have 2 additional turns with the healing, and with the damage here. So that's something very important to know, because this faction here is actually pretty awesome, the Chatting Gale here. So really powerful stuff. So if you have it, so if you're gonna put him there, definitely do it like this. Or on his own. He really doesn't need to be combined with anything. He is a combo on its own, as I said. And on defense, you can actually put him different types of situations, like putting him like this, combining him with Malfoy with his weapon at +3. That's gonna shroom the target almost every single time. So usually I would recommend like putting him like over here on the very first hero that actually goes off when you're playing F2 in War. Or if you're not playing F2 in War, if you are playing F2 in War, or the enemy has shield weapons, because that you're going to see that, you can actually bring in this girl over here, which is Kharma with her weapon +3, or weapon +1 is fine, but +3 is perfect, because that's gonna prevent every single shield that the enemy receives. And then this guy comes in and actually turns them into a shroom, and they don't do anything and they die pretty much. Yeah, in Cathbad at +5, yeah, on defense he's highly recommended to be used at +5, because he goes off over and over and over again, and that's gonna help you out a lot on defense. And I've recently been seeing this combination, which is, let's see here, this girl over here, and also Agony over here. Where are you, Agony? Agony with his weapon and him at +5. This combination is so powerful, is so disgusting. Yeah, I highly recommend you doing this combo. I absolutely love it. I've seen Gwen here going off, and then this guy turning them into shrooms, and after that happened, Agony here with his weapon at maximum level, and him at +5, absolutely annihilating the hero, one-shotting them all together. They turn into shroom and then they kill them. I mean, that is amazing stuff, guys. Pretty crazy stuff for sure. So yeah, if you think Cathbad is not being used on defense, you're sadly mistaken. He's very good on defense for sure. But usually, the teams that I usually used in the past would be like this, and this girl over here, and then I would actually add in Gardor with I don't think I have the weapon, the stone weapon, because usually when you're free to play, you're gonna need this weapon over here to actually create extra stones. And then maybe Isadora would actually add her here in that situation. So yeah, it's because that'll be 3 Shattering Gales in that situation, and I create stones, I make them a miss, and I do the damage, I shroom, get mana, a bunch of mana, because I'm creating a bunch of stones here. So that's a really nice combination there as well, when you're actually playing in the free-to-play style in that situation. If not, you can, or cheap to play, you could say. So next one is Molly. I absolutely love Molly. If you've noticed, I've suffered so much trying to get her, but I actually finally got her. So Molly is at +5. She is her own combo hero. Another one, because she goes off and pretty much the enemy dies on its own, pretty much. But the main thing about Molly, as I mentioned before, Ed, she can be a replacement for Sho Min. Sho Min, even at +0, is an amazing hero there. But if you're using the team that I'm using, like this, and usually I'm gonna add Isadora. If I'm not gonna add Isadora, I'm gonna add like this guy over here, Guan-Yu, holding the whip, because he's an amazing whip holder and he does dispel. We don't have a lot of good dispellers in green, so we definitely need to use Guan-Yu from time to time. And he does create extra mana when he's +1, so pretty good. So usually this will be the team that I would like to use all the time, but most of the time I'm gonna fight Mildred, I'm gonna fight Elmis, I am going to fight a bunch of heroes that are gonna one-shot my team, so I'm usually gonna just use Isadora here, especially if I'm playing versus Red and Harath. Yeah, that Harath is pretty scary, guys. I mentioned it more than once because it's the real deal. So anyhow, she on her own pretty much combos with anybody that you actually add in. Adding her right next to Chloe, it is going to make her do more damage, but the main thing is that she'll be able to make Chloe attack twice in a row, which that is absolutely disgusting. I haven't seen a team that survived. Chloe, this girl going off, connecting stones, giving the buff from Molly, because she actually doesn't give 50 something. She does to give these 50 something, and gets 40 something more attack from the stones from this girl over here. So that's going to raise the attack almost, not to 100, but almost to 100% to everybody in the team. So combining that with Chloe, yeah, it's very disgusting, guys. So there's all this combination you can actually add with Molly here. Let's look at her faction real quick. So here we go. Let's choose all the colors, because that has been tapped in a way that hasn't been seen very much. The power of Molly, because I've seen teams with Leticia that actually work with Molly, because she goes off like every 3 turns, and 3 turns she goes off, and yeah, everybody's gonna get pretty much the 2 heroes are next to her are gonna become immortal. So it is a soft lock if you do it correctly, if you don't have a hero that actually kills immortals. If not, bringing this guy over here. If you don't have him at +5, you can actually bring in Molly, and Molly will make him go off a bunch of times as well. And Athena, yeah, it's so many good combinations here, because Athena needs to attack twice. So if you already have, wait, I need to change it here. So if you already have like this guy at +3 with his weapon +3, Athena will be able to attack twice in the same turn. So that is pretty disgusting, guys. Yeah, Athena will actually destroy with this combination. So there's a lot of good combinations with Molly for sure. That's one of the main reasons why I decided to choose her in that situation. And you can even combo her off sometimes with this girl over here. It's not really necessary, but yeah, if you don't have her at +5, yeah, you may want to do this combination. But Molly's realm is I think it's more valuable than Artemis's. But if you have her +5, you don't really need it, because she's gonna go off on her own a bunch of times. So this is a really nice combination too. So I've seen teams like this. Let me go back to all with Mildred. Like this, Mildred, Alia, and Leticia. Leticia, by the way, hasn't been seen a lot of play, but yeah. So this combination is pretty amazing here, right off the bat, because players are gonna try to hit Mildred, but they're just gonna hit, yeah, this girl over here, and this girl's gonna go off so many times. It's gonna make sure that Alia and Molly here are gonna survive. So this is a really nice combo. I've seen it in F4, one of my guildies using it, and yeah, it's pretty amazing. Very, very powerful stuff. Very, very nice, guys. So Molly has a lot of potential. If you have Molly, she's gonna help you out a lot. At +0, she will be able to activate the heroes that are already mentioned here, for sure. So yeah, grats if you got her. Highly recommended. If you have her +5, yeah, she's going to be pretty powerful. And a lot of players, I've been seeing a lot of fights lately, and a lot of players forget to not bring heals versus her, and they suffer when that happens. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff, guys. Very, very powerful stuff. So, let's see. Sho Min. Sho Min is another hero that combos off on his own, but if you don't have Molly versus a team that has heals, because remember that when she cancels heals, your team is going to get mana. You can definitely bring in Sho Min. Sho Min is going to go off, and he's going to actually give all the mana that he actually needs, but make sure to target enemies that you want not to actually do a lot of damage to you. So there's no real combos per se. He combos with every single hero that is in green in that situation. So you do any team that you actually do, and you activate him last. You have to activate him last, and he'll give mana to your entire team in that situation. Now for Malford, yeah, you got to get his weapon at +3. It's just that disgusting, guys. Because on defense, you'll be able to do so many different things in that situation. So many cool stuff that it's so funny, man, for sure. You can actually, with his weapon at +3, he'll be able to target the weakest enemy. And in that situation, that's an entire team on its own. You can add in, like, Palmyra to the spell. And then you bring in, where are you? Here we go. Alpha to target there to actually make them stop getting mana and doing anything pretty much. Other heroes you can actually add here is this girl over here, making them lose their mana. And a strong single target hero like Idritha here is pretty awesome there. He worked pretty well as well with this guy, Damon, because if he gets the 13 stacks and keeps hitting the same target over and over and over again, it's pretty disgusting stuff, guys. So any good single target hero that you can actually use, you can use Malfoy on defense, and it's gonna be pretty powerful, guys, for sure. Very, very cool stuff. And also Sigmund there does work very well with him as well on defense, for sure. I've seen him shooting 3 times in a row. If it's not F2, if it's another field, that this combination worked very well too. He's gonna shoot 3 times in a row, and it's gonna destroy him, that situation. And Malfoy on the attack, oh my god. Malfoy on the attack, I highly recommend you to use on a Damon team on the attack. I usually am in love with this combination here. I'm going to show you. Usually this combination works pretty well. You dispel the enemy, and you actually go in and destroy with Damon there. Or the enemy comes and attacks you, and Luna counters and destroys Thor and a bunch of other heroes that shoot many times there. So that's really powerful stuff there as well. And even if the enemies have a lot of stuns, like with Agni and things like that, this team usually works pretty well with Malfoy. Malfoy is going to bring in the shields, the entire team that you actually need to actually survive the actual fight. Because it is a tough fight, and those shields are very important stuff, guys. For sure. Now for Kharma. Kharma has been used ever since the beginning of the game. She has been used as a combination to freeze enemies. Like, for example, combining here, this guy over here, Survivor, this girl over here. But the thing is that when you actually freeze enemies, it's a really good niche, but it doesn't really kill the enemy. So that's the thing that you have to take into account. If you want to bring in like a combination maybe of these 2 heroes here, and to just freeze the enemies and give you time to actually eliminate them, that is definitely an option that you can actually use, but it won't kill anybody. However, Kharma specifically shines very well when her weapon awakens in that situation, because she'll be able to actually, do a lot more damage and also prevent enemies from creating shields. So that's something very important that you can actually bring into the table when you actually have her there. So that's the main thing that you're going to use Kharma. Kharma, you can actually use her on defense when you put her on the left side. She goes off and the enemy is not able to get shields. And then the rest of your team starts actually doing a bunch of damage there. So, yeah. I've seen her being used with next to Chloe, and she does nice damage in that situation. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of uses for Kharma. Freezing is still a thing. It is able to actually do things. However, Alia is able to cleanse that, so you have to take that into account. Just make sure to kill Alia as soon as possible, and after that, the fight is over pretty much. Because freezing with Kharma is the serious thing for sure. Because she's not going to freeze just one hero. She's going to freeze a lot of heroes. Now, Gardor has been used ever since the beginning of the game as well. But when I play it in different cheap-to-play, free-to-play accounts, I always feel that I need to use them because I don't have the actual 5-star stone weapon. And I want a stone weapon, so I have to use the 4-star stone weapon. So I usually am forced to use them in that situation to make the team work. And so if you're in that situation, yeah, you're going to need to use Gardor for sure. But usually try to activate him first and do target an enemy that you don't want them to go off, and then after you activate your other heroes there, you can actually do the extra damage from his mark. So that's pretty cool. So, but the real fun way to actually use him is on his faction with the Idrith faction. Let me show you here. Idrith, where are you? Here we go. With his faction here. So you can add them like this, and you can add them like add heroes like this, and so let me see. This is gonna be in W formation, something like this. You can add this guy over here and her here. You can just leave it like this. Let's see. Because you're definitely gonna need a healer here, and it's not gonna be from the faction. Maybe this girl over here, Cassandra, is a really good hero. Let's actually do combinations here. So yeah, so there, if you have 4 Idrith heroes, this guy is gonna, especially if you put him next to Luna, he's gonna make the enemy miss so much. It's disgusting, and with his weapon awaken even more. So yeah, so it's pretty fun hero to use. If you're free to play, cheap to play, and you're forced to use him, sure, you can use him. He's pretty good. But in that situation, he is another hero that you can combine with your faction and things like that for sure. So Samuel is pretty straight up the bat. He is a tank. When I say tank, he hits like a tank. He does a bunch of damage. So any hero that can actually buff him to be better, definitely you can actually combine him with him in that situation, or a hero that actually can break shields and make him go and shoot them directly at them at their life. Yeah, that's very powerful stuff, guys. And now you're able to actually get them to +5 with the new soul stones that you get from events. So if you have him, you'll be able to get him to +5, and at +5, this guy is an absolute monster. Yeah. So yeah, So he's definitely an excellent hero for you to try to +5, guys. Highly recommended it if you're fighting over what hero you want to get stronger there for sure. After you get Chloe at +5, you can definitely get him to +5 for sure. Very, very powerful stuff, guys. So for Mallory here, you can use her in different situations. Again, you can combine her with Chloe and things like that. And you can use her as the resetter for the board if you have a green team that doesn't have a lot of stone creators. But the main place that you can actually use her is in the infinite team. That's my favorite place to actually use her. Something like this. Let's see. And then you put an off-color hero that is not green nor blue. That will be this guy over here. That will be pretty excellent. So you can use an infinite team similar to this, and then you activate this guy over here. And after you don't have any other options, you activate Mallory here. So that's the best combination that I can think of for sure, is Mallory and the infinite team. She's pretty nice on the infinite team for sure. Outside of that, if you have her highly awakened, you can use her to do damage, especially if you're playing versus Valor bosses and things like that. But this is my favorite combination for sure in that situation. So, let's talk about Guan-Yu. Guan-Yu doesn't really need much combinations. He's the Dispeller Premier after... Well, he is the best Dispeller for green for sure, because he's going to dispel a lot more than just one enemy. He's going to dispel a lot of enemies. But usually, since he's a string hero, you're going to use him to grab the whip. And that's going to help your team to go off a lot faster. And yeah, green gets mana really quickly. And he won't be having any problems actually getting there. But when he starts creating stones, yeah. That's another thing, because he actually makes green get mana with red stones that you connect. So that's really by himself, the best combination with him is pretty much his own awakening, the +1, because that's gonna help you get mana with your green team, even with red stones there. So that's really nice. So and Guan-Yu with his weapon does a lot of damage, And there's no exact heroes that you actually combine, except the ones I already mentioned, like Chloe, combining him, or Robert. These two heroes you're gonna use them a lot if you're, depending on if you're free to play or high level and so forth. So, but Guan-Yu is a very, very powerful hero. You need to definitely use him. Now Athena, sadly I only have her +0, so I'm not able to use her. But if you have Athena at +1, at +3, yeah, you're gonna use her a lot. She does so much damage. She dispels. Yeah, and the +5, she makes every single of your heroes survive. Yeah, so revive. So yeah, she's pretty amazing hero all around. Combinations, I already mentioned that she worked very well with Molly. She does work very well with Reginald, but I don't have Reginald. Because the thing is that you activate Reginald. I'm gonna put him here. Whoop! Magic. So you activate Reginald first, and then you target the enemy that he targeted with turn blue, and then she goes off again, and he goes off again, and yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff. You can actually use that to actually eliminate a lot of enemies there in that situation. So for the other heroes that are pretty much 4 stars, quick heroes that I want to mention really quick. This girl over here, she's amazing. This guy for the Infinite team, pretty much the Infinite team that I mentioned before, but this time like this, and then pretty much the other heroes. Like this, she's very good combination for sure. Where are you? Let's see. This guy, I loved him. I love to see this guy in this team on defense. Let me show you real quick here. Really big fan of this team, by the way. If you don't have a lot of heroes, but you have these, definitely use this team on defense, because this guy, Ikebu, on defense is pretty powerful for sure. In that situation, highly recommended. So Morgan is another hero that a lot of players like to use. I've used her in a few free-to-plays, and she's pretty good. She's fast, she does the damage, the enemy doesn't heal. So if you buff her like with Robert, as I've said many times, Robert you can combine him with so many heroes to actually buff him and things like that. But I do notice that Morgan tends to be kind of squishy, so you have to make sure to have a good Isadora, or another team that may want to protect her and things like that. But she's pretty cool in different scenarios there. And I mentioned this girl over here as well, Mina. Mina, I haven't really seen her do a lot of things there. However, I have heard some players say that her weapon, Awaken at +3, does nice amounts of damage, so I would love to see that, but I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really say. But obviously with her faction, where for example, if you have Luna, Percival, and things like that, you can actually do a nice team in that situation on defense, because that faction is so powerful with dodging and things like that. And she's an amazing energy weapon holder in that situation. Because, yeah, she's a very fast hero, so that's very important to take into account as well. Other heroes like Valencia. Valencia, I've used her from time to time. She's a Dispeller, one of the few Dispellers in green. So you can slap her the whip because she's a fast hero, so she's pretty nice in that situation. See? And fast hero there. So there's some certain situation I do use her to hold the green stone weapon. The 5-star one there, this one. Yeah, she can definitely be used in that situation. You activate her first, you dispel the enemy, and then any other hero in your team can actually jump in and do all that damage there. And another hero that can be used in that situation is this hero over here, Lena. Lena gives actual defense to your green team. So if you don't have Isadora, or you can't use Isadora, you can bring her in that situation, and you can actually use her in combination with Molly. See, another combination with Molly. I love Molly. You actually activate Molly, you get the attack buff, and with her, with Lena, you get the defense buff. So those two together is a very good combination when you're playing in green. So yeah, that's definitely something you can definitely take into account if you don't have Isadora in that situation. Let's see, let's see. The last hero I would recommend is probably use this guy. But only use Gerhardt when you actually want to counter Belnos in that situation. Usually you're going to give him a weapon that is really strong and gives a lot of shields for him to survive. So if you don't have any good options to actually use in that situation, yeah, Gerhardt can definitely help you out there. And the very last hero I'm going to talk about, which is the hero that I do not have, is Regalt. I'm going to use a little bit more magic here. Here we go. Yeah, so all of a sudden I have him. So yeah, so Gerhardt, you can actually use them in different combinations there. Just make sure to activate all your heroes first. Like if you have a team like this, let me show you. And Gerhardt on this side, and probably Sho Min on this side, or on this side, and Gerhardt, and probably, yeah, probably like this. So you activate all of your heroes like this, and you activate him last, because if you're fighting Belnos, you want to activate him last, and that's gonna wake up your entire team. It's gonna make them sleep, but you will be able to actually do a bunch of things with your rest of your team there. So that's a good combo that you can actually use when using Gerhardt in that situation. Gerhardt weakening Mildred is pretty amazing. He does work very, very well with Molly too, because he's gonna weaken the enemies, turning them blue, and at the same time Molly's gonna come in and counter the healing. So when you're playing a PvP game, or in other words damage game, we want to animate the heroes, different combinations to lower the healing and bring in more attack and things like that is going to be very relevant. And Regalt right there, his abilities are going to make him actually make your entire green team stronger against blues. So that on itself, it's an amazing combo. In time, after like 5 minutes in the PvP fight, your entire green team will be destroying blues for days. So yeah, that's a very nice way to take out Mildred, turning her blue, or Alia after in the fight. Even if he's +0, he's an amazing hero to actually take out blues on defense. Highly recommended to use for sure. Alright, so those are pretty much all the combinations that I could think of in that situation. I'm sure there's a lot more combinations, probably even better than the ones that I mentioned, but these are the ones that I can share with you guys. So if you have any other combinations, if you think I made a mistake, please leave it in the comments and we'll talk about it. And as usual, please like and subscribe, guys. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.